Here we are in our pregame interview show. Tyler Fernandez with head coach Will McCoy of Greenwood Boys Basketball on the varsity side. Coach, appreciate you allowing me to hop in here and interview you today.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you back in here, man.
All right, we'll go ahead and chat about the games that you had the past 2 days, 2 games in 2 days. Let's first start off with the highs. Getting the win over Bowling Green, which, by the way, for the first time since the 07-08 season, that Greenwood has swept Bowling Green in the regular season series matchup. And by the way, and I'm not trying to put too much hype on it, but the last time that Greenwood swept Bowling Green, they were the last non-Bowling Green, non-Warren Central team to win the fourth region. So, as a coach, it's obviously the first time for you experiencing that sweep. How proud of you with the guys of just not only coming off of the weather delay, but putting in a really good performance and getting the win over a young, hungry Bowling Green team that's just gotten better with every game.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said a lot of my thoughts on it there. They continue to improve, and obviously they were on the same delay we were, so it was weird for everybody. It was just a weird to have a game of that magnitude. All of our district games are Friday nights. To have that on a Monday night, the crowd was okay. Our fans were incredible. The ones that were here, I just mean the attendance wasn't great in terms of how many people were normally at that game. So it was just kind of a weird feel. But man, I think anybody that was here would tell you, and I'm not just saying this because we came out on the winning side of it. It was a phenomenal basketball game. I mean, both teams just played so well, and both teams shot it well. I don't feel like anybody uh, beat themselves. Like it was just a good game. I don't know how many lead changes. I would bet well over a dozen. And just the sequence of events that took place there in the final 4 minutes for both teams. It was electric, man, and obviously the way it ended was something that those guys will remember forever. And if you were in attendance or watching it through you all, it was just it was pretty special.
Mhm. Uh, Before we get to the buzzer beater first, I want to talk about a guy that's been getting better, Martell Tuttle.
Mm-hmm.
20 points for him. He ended up, even though he missed that free throw, he was a big part of what was able to swing the momentum in y'all's favor. And just talk about also his improvement as well over the course of January going into February.
Yeah, Martell's been excellent. He's played really well in all of our district games. If you look back on it, he really gets up for those games. And what I think he's done lately, prior to the snow and since we came back, is he seems to be bringing that district game energy every day. And that was what I challenged him on. Is it's got to be a practice. It's got to be the other regional teams we play, the non-regional teams, and it's just hard to turn that off and on. And if you can just kind of try to leave that switch on, he's a special player. He's put in a lot of work in the off season. His game is showing it. He's got a phenomenal body for this game. He's long, 6'4", arguably the best athlete in the school, and just really been big for us. He was huge in that last play. He contested Davis's layup. He reacted quickly when Ethan made the outlet pass to him. He made a unbelievable wrapped left-handed bounce pass to get it to Isaiah up the sideline, and he's a guy that we're not in that moment without him the other night. That's for sure.
Another guy too, Ethan York. He got the offensive rebound off the total miss, ended up knocking down two big free throws for you guys as well.
Huge. He had played so well Monday night. Made a couple mental errors and was beating himself up pretty good. I was so proud to see him shake that off and claim that rebound, make those free throws, claimed the other rebound off the Davis miss, and to have enough instinct to recognize I got to get rid of this quick. That was not a sophomore sequence. That looked like something more that a senior would have done.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously, which leads to Isaiah Summers, buzzer beater. I want to know this. Did he know how much time was left on the clock before he released the ball?
I he said yes, he did. I think he would have had to have, because he was still pretty good ways out, and uh, man, that there was such a composure to him because so many guys would have shot that sooner. I don't know how he had that register to know like he could had the was able to take that last dribble and get himself elevated to make the play he did. But a circus shot. If you've watched us all year, he's made a lot of them. Obviously, not in that moment and that magnitude, but he's a guy that makes a lot of tough shots each night. And so it's funny. We talked in the huddle before Martell shot that, and we said if we were down 1 or 2, would like to get the ball to Isaiah or Martell out ahead. And you don't know that you're going to have that opportunity. That's what we hope to happen. So for it to have happened and him to make it, man, it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Head coach Will McCoy here with us of the Greenwood Gators boys basketball. Let's talk about the tough loss at the Sports Center to an Owensboro Catholic team that was on a 5-game losing streak and had it snapped. Kind of talk to you about, what were some of the things that y'all were not able to translate from the game from the game on Monday to the game on Tuesday, and did you also kind of feel that the emotions were kind of too high because of that big win over BG?
So I watched it back as soon as we got home Tuesday. I was having trouble sleeping with that one, and I'm gonna tell you this: we played well. I mean, we actually jumped off 10-0 on a 10-0 lead. So the emotions and being ready to play, we checked that box pretty early. We were engaged. The game got moved over to their high school, which is a very small 5-row bleacher gym. It did have a weird feel to it, and so I was proud of the guys for not really seeming to let that bother them early. Owensboro Catholic shot 61% from three. They had a kid who was averaging 5 a game that made four threes in the first half that kept them in that game. He played really well, and we had a 1 point lead, and from there we extended it to another 8 point lead. They threw some junk defense at us, and we had a couple possessions that we didn't adjust to it really as quick as I would have liked to have seen us, and it got them back in the game. Then from there, it was kind of like Monday. It was lead changes, big shot here, big shot there. And our guys made some great plays, and we ended up with the ball back tied. Landon made a great backdoor cut. Ethan hit him. He got fouled. He made the first one. There was 6 seconds left. They called the timeout. He missed the second one, and they, much like we did Monday, they didn't panic. They got a rebound, 2 quick outlet passes. They found Carruthers in transition, and he made a. It wasn't as tough as Isaiah as he was closer to the rim, but he made a tough move through 2 of our defenders through their arms, maybe even fouled him, and he made it. I mean, he made a tough shot, and so we tried calling a timeout. We thought there was enough time. We probably should have had closer to 2 seconds, and the horn buzzed. The officials got together. They gave us point 0.7, and we got a full court heave off. But we just got beat. I mean, they played well. We played well. That little third quarter sequence was what we would probably have liked to have had back. But all in all, they had lost 5 in a row. But if anybody's schedule watches, it was to Davies County, Grayson County, Apollo, Caverna. I mean, you're talking some teams that really good teams, a Kirkwood team over here in our event. So we knew they were a good team. They were much better than their record had proven. Would have liked to have came out on the other side, but we watched it back. We learned from it, and we're going to be better from it.
Yeah, excuse me. I was going to try to translate to is how do you not let that affect you? Because obviously you got the big win there and then suffered a tough loss, but it just seemed that how are you able to, from a mindset perspective, kind of just get the guys to say, look, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened to us, just like we did to them. It's just get back to the drawing board and move on.
I think they naturally did that. We looked good in here Wednesday when we got back. We've went through a couple of those. We've been very fortunate since the second game of the year against Glasgow. That was our only one possession loss on the year, and when games have been close, we've won them. That was 2 of our wins out there in San Diego were one possession games, and of course the one over here Monday. And so it probably wasn't the worst thing for us long term to lose a one possession game and to kind of see, hey, everybody's going to remember the last 6 seconds, but if we look back on these few possessions, we could have probably avoided it being as tight as it was. So trying to take care of business early, and They're fine. I mean, we're good. Every now and then you need a loss to kind of grab your attention, and before this last final stretch that we're in here, it might have been a good thing for us.
Yeah, get a good old slice of humble pie.
Mhm.
Coach Will McCoy here with us. Let's go ahead and transition to the matchup against Warren Central. The Dragons, they've had themselves a really good year, and they got a huge bounce back win against South Warren on Tuesday, and they held the Spartans to a season low 36 points,
Mhm.
and that was with Perkins back
Right.
for South Warren. So, looking at the tape early on, how would you assess Warren Central and how well that they've been able to play so far over the course of this year?
Well, over here, their offense stood out the way they scored it and shot it, and they were really good on the offensive side of the ball. And then watching Tuesday night's game, I mean, South Warren's a good offensive team, and so for Central to have done that, it was very evident what Coach Unseld and his staff had been stressing to his guys. Those practices leading up to that game was getting back to the defensive side. After what Bowling Green did to them in the lane and the points in the paint that they allowed from Bowling Green, I'd say Coach Quarles and his staff weren't too shocked to see that Central was on a mission defensively, and they man they were really really good. The things they took away from South Tuesday night was pretty special on film. So if they're guarding you like that, they had one of their lowest scoring games too. Warren Central did of the season, and so um, to guard the ball like they did shows how capable they are on that side of the ball. So we're ready. We're expecting the same mentality from them. So we're going to have to be able to take care of the basketball and limit those live ball turnovers and not let them rush us into some bad shots and quick shots like I felt like they did to South Tuesday.
Mhm. And one another thing that Warren Central does really well is this: they just play unselfish. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it doesn't matter if Bird had 4 points;
Mm-hmm.
they got guys all around you that can score the ball relatively well. Prince ended up having 12. McCombs had, I believe, excuse me, I had 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
They just have so much balance when it comes to their scoring.
They do, and that makes them tough to scout. That's something that we take pride in over here as well. We've got 6 kids, anywhere from 7.5 to 17 point range. So I think that people don't. Not enough people realize if you're averaging 8 points a game, 20 games into a high school season, you're a good scorer. Like you've had games in the double digits, and you've been consistent throughout the year, and that makes you a lot harder to guard when you have guys that are capable and you have a team that shares it like we do and like they do. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on with that.
Mhm. And final question for head coach Will McCoy: keys to victory in order for you guys to try to get a big one against a tough Warren Central team that is, and in which Tim Riley Court. It's hard to win there at
Yeah,
Central.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard for sure. I think that our keys, if you don't build the foundation of your keys off the last time you played them, you'd be very stubborn. So we've got to make sure that in terms of the offensive side of the ball, our keys are making sure they don't get 25 plus more shots than we did, like they did over here. I mean, it doesn't matter how well you shoot it or how well they shoot it or don't shoot it. If they're getting that many more, you can't win that game. So we've got to make sure that we're getting the shots that we need, the guys that need to be taking them. We're dictating the shot selection that we're getting, not them. And then the second thing that judging off of last time, they embarrassed us on the glass. The majority of those extra shots they got were because second, third, fourth opportunities in the same possession, just because they're very tenacious on the offensive glass. So we've got to be tougher. We got to be tougher rebounding with them, tougher handling the ball against them. Um, I believe if we can do that, we can handle their pressure, and it becomes a half court game. We can play with those guys. If it's a half court game and both teams are running their half court offense, we're both good at it. We've both proven it. We're both the top 2 scoring teams in the region. And so we would like it to turn into that style of game. So if we can kind of dictate our own pace, that would definitely be the third key.
Yeah, and I'd say one thing I'll add to it is cannot have one bad quarter
Right.
against Warren Central because Bowling Green won the game against Warren Central for 2 reasons. One, they did not have a bad quarter, and number 2, they out-rebounded Central, which is something normally that does not happen.
Right.
So it's going to be a very important game for you guys. But that's head coach Will McCoy joining us. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to do the interview, and best of luck to you guys against Warren Central. Well, that's the interview with head coach Will McCoy of the Greenwood Gators boys basketball. The start of the broadcast at our Met Center Health pregame show starts right now.